Oh, all right, Julia, I got it. No worries. Julia, last name Davison.
John, we also have the ability for, I also have the attendance on the meeting here too, if it comes down to, we can look at it that way if people are running into technical difficulties.
It looks like Susie's asking if she can add her name. Actually, that, yeah, Susie, if you, I actually pulled that information from the Google Classroom. If you haven't signed up for it, that might be it, but yeah, you can go ahead and just add your name at the bottom, not a problem. All right, educators, it is 7 o'clock right on the dot. So I'm going to make sure to get started because I want to make sure to honor your time today. So thank you everybody for joining us. We're here for effective classroom management. We're going to go ahead and get started. We'll give you some information regarding the course, some information regarding us, some past history, and then kind of will outline what the spring semester is going to look like for you folks. First things first, we're going to start off with some class introductions. The facilitators will go first, and then we'll give you folks some time to share a little bit about yourselves. So my name is John Mulroy. I am the Equity and Inclusive Practices Resource Teacher for Kaimuki McKinley and Roosevelt Complex, and I'm based out of Wilson Elementary School. My background is special education, and I began my career on the Leeward Coast at Lehope Elementary School in about 2004. So that's kind of where I'm at, where I've been and where I'm at today. And with that, I'll maybe turn it over to Shannon. And Shannon, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to this group of educators.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon Eustace. Let's see. I am currently at Eau Middle School teaching 6th grade science. And for quite a while, I was at Lahaina Luna. So hi, Lahaina Luna peeps. I know there's some out there. And teaching math there. And then I was also curriculum coordinator. So I'm so glad to be on this journey with everyone because it's just, these are crazy times and just, it's fun to be together to have a great support system. So I will turn it over to Jackie.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jackie, and I'm currently teaching at Waiahole Elementary. I teach kindergarten, and I've been primarily teaching K through 1 as my, I guess, position I've been in the most. I've taught K through 6, but my preference is really the lower grades. For a while, I've been a district resource teacher as well as a state resource teacher, but it's great to be back in the classroom with the kids again. So thank you for being part of this class. We're excited to have you with us. So I'm going to turn it to Christy.
Hi, I'm Christy Miamai. I teach 7th grade wheel at Mililani Middle, so I see a lot of Mililani people. Yay! I can't tell you enough about how fun this class is to teach. So I think Shannon and I kind of started the same time, and Jackie's been doing this one since the beginning. So hopefully you learn a lot out of this and you take away a lot to just try, implement, you know, make mistakes along the way and fix it. Don't worry, but you're going to have a lot of fun talking to people. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Thanks.
Thank you, facilitators, for sharing. Yeah, I think we're absolutely going to grow a little bit. Jackie, Shannon, and Christy have been doing this course a while. The 4 of us actually just did the course in the fall for the first time completely online. So we had a few learnings along the way, definitely some hiccups, but I think we grew a little bit and we made some changes. And hopefully those will be reflected in some positive learning and positive experiences for the spring semester. And then again, we'll use your feedback at the end to continue to make changes to improve our practice, because that's kind of why we're all here, to improve and accelerate practice. So with that being said, this is a huge group. We do want to take a little bit of time to kind of get to know each other in just the very beginning stages. So we're going to do a waterfall chat. So when I say go, if you could please, in the chat box, you can write your name, your school, and your grade content in the chat. So think you're going to write your name, your school, and your grade or content in the chat when I say go. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So as these names and information is scrolling through, if you have the opportunity, please see if you could pick up some commonality of your fellow educators. What do we have in common? And then thinking about kind of where this class is going to take us as we continue to grow and learn from each other. We hope to give you opportunities to not only work in kind of content or grade level specific, but also give you the opportunity for a little bit of vertical alignment where, you know, an elementary teacher might be able to talk to a middle school and high school teacher and vice versa. So it looks like we have a wealth of knowledge and experience in this room, and we hope to just kind of build on that as we move forward. So we took some time to lay a little groundwork and kind of get familiar with each other. And now we're just going to start off with some live session norms for our synchronous learning. So these are the norms that we'll focus on at the beginning of each class to kind of ground us in the work that we're doing, either individually or within a small and or a large group. So we're always going to ask for equity of voice. So, you know, have the opportunity to step up when questions are being posed and being willing to add your voice to either the chat or to voice to the room. But also knowing when to step back and say, hey, maybe someone else hasn't had the opportunity to share, and how do we acknowledge their expertise in the room? We're going to ask for active listening. As much as we can, try to be present. We know you have so many other things going on in your lives, but when we're here, if we can give that time to one another. Perspective taking, you know, just finding common ground and seeking to understand one another, because we both come with wide experiences and our own philosophies. So really, how do we grow and understand each other? Safety and confidentiality. You know, if there's by accident someone shares a student name or we see a piece of work with a student name, just honor and say, hey, can we remind each other to take those names off and just respect the confidentiality and expertise we all have, and encourage and give feedback to one another. And again, very similar to the active listening, the respectful use of electronics. We know that because you're online with us using your computer, there's probably work things coming through and other personal things, but if we can kind of focus on the tasks at hand, and that way we can just make this a great experience for everyone involved, especially because it's such a large group. So before I move on, if I can just ask you to focus on which one of these 5 norms you would like to focus on today. And then just give me a peace sign to let me know that you found your norm to ground you in today's work. Thanks, Richard. Beth, Jeff, Julia. Thanks, Julia. Angie, thank you. Evan, thank you very much. All right, folks, with that, thank you for the feedback, and we'll be moving on to the next session today. So we talk a lot about classroom management and, you know, how do we set up a positive learning environment for the students that walk through our classroom every day. So we're going to start with a quick inclusionary activity, and this is a mood meter, just to kind of identify where we're all functioning right now. So think about kind of where you're at 7:09 on a Wednesday in January. Would you identify yourself as high energy, unpleasant, high energy, pleasant, low energy, unpleasant, or low energy, pleasant? So think about that for about 30 seconds. And then I am going to, give me 1 second. Okay. And if you go and check the chat, there should be a Jamboard in there for you. If you can please identify how you are feeling today. The Jamboard's set up in a 4 quad again. So would you identify yourself as high energy unpleasant would be red, high energy pleasant would be yellow, low energy pleasant green, and low energy unpleasant would be blue. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Kavika. Thank you, thank you. Thanks everybody for participating, active participation, greatly appreciated. Thank you, folks. Just know, feel free to borrow, use, manipulate anything you need for your classroom, just to kind of a positive way to set the tone for today, or for and get some feedback for where your students are kind of functioning when they get to you each morning. So now we've identified and done a little bit of a self-assessment. So now I'm going to ask you to pick up your phone. Okay. And find a picture in your phone that brings a smile to your face. You won't be sharing this, so don't worry about that. Just find a picture in your phone kind of that brings a smile to your face. So this is my picture. These are my 2 best friends from college who I have not seen now in the longest time since about we met in 2000. So this is a picture from last Christmas, and this is just a picture that kind of reminds me kind of good times, and it brings a smile to my face. So knowing that a picture can't necessarily completely change your attitude in the day, it does have the ability to spark a little bit of joy as we move forward. So thinking about the kids in your classrooms and how you can, we've adapted this, is just finding a way to kind of ground ourselves when things aren't great, knowing that we can't completely change how someone is feeling, but little things can have an effect on how we see the rest of the day. And sometimes it actually has the ability to change your mood meter, even for just a little bit. Okay. With that, I'm actually going to turn it over.
Okay, so one of the main reasons we are all here is to get our credits for this course, right? Let's get to the nitty gritty. So for our course success required, you will have a portfolio. We expect real-time participation, so that's why we have our live sessions, so that we can interact and learn from each other. And then at the very end, there will be an online evaluation or survey that we, as your facilitators, will give you a brief one. And then also there will be one coming through PDE3. Highly encouraged to attend 5 live events. In the event that you cannot attend all, I think we have 10 or 11 live sessions planned. If you cannot attend them, our meetings are being recorded, and those will be posted within like maybe by a few hours after we close our session. We will try our best to keep our sessions on Wednesdays to an hour. That is our goal. Last time we were really successful at that because it's a Wednesday. We all have things to get ready for the next day of school. On Saturdays, we try and keep our sessions about an hour as well, but they have been running close to an hour and a half. So the more sessions you can attend, I feel that the stronger the class impact will be on your practice. And we are here to support you. We will help you with whatever we can. Our portfolios, because we use Google Classroom, are done a little bit differently. And I know there's been some questions coming up on that. There was also some questions on captions as well. And as you work through the activities for each module, you will see where it does ask you for a caption. You don't have to do that right away. You can do that at the end and go back and add all of your captions, or you can just keep going through and, you know, if you're in the groove and you put a caption in there, that works great as well. When it comes time to the portfolio, we will have you sign the front page, and that's it. That's all you have to do for your portfolio is your cover page. We actually will help you pull everything together for your portfolio, because otherwise it does become, as I think a lot of us are using the Google Classroom, it does become a little overwhelming trying to keep track of everything. So I think that's all I have on this guide. Thanks, John. And I think everybody has made it to the Google Classroom. Amelia, is Amelia with us today? Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of housekeeping because it's my slide.
Yes, Amelia.
Yeah, Amelia, you're here. So have you signed on to the Google Classroom?
Sorry.
Are you?
Excuse me?
Yes, you are. I recognize the name. Perfect. I got you. Okay. And then Suzanne. Is Suzanne with us? Yes, Susie's with us. Susie, did you sign into the Google Classroom already?
Yes.
You can either just type it in the chat.
Just now.
Perfect. Excellent. Good. Everybody's here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Great job, you guys. So most of our communication will be through the Google Classroom. If you want to bookmark this meeting link, this will be our meeting link we are always going to use. I will also be posting it like the day before, the morning, night before, morning of our sessions. So it will always be fresh on the screen. Okay. All right. Thanks, John.
Yeah, thanks, Shannon. Thanks, everybody. So as Shannon mentioned, we're really hoping that everyone can participate in at least 5 of the synchronous online sessions. But we also recognize that a lot of you will be doing some of the self-paced asynchronous learning on your own. So just kind of some thoughts as we move into that kind of professional responsibility of sticking to the asynchronous learning. Try to set goals, not activities. Each week you're going to be most weeks you're going to be given a task that's been assigned. So kind of relax and enjoy the benefits of the asynchronous work, but also know that we are working towards something, and there's going to be kind of goals that we'd like each of you to reach as the weeks kind of progress. So that way it builds toward that final portfolio, as opposed to trying to get everything done kind of in the last weekend before the portfolios are due. Something I know we've also trying to stress to our students as well, find a place or location where you can be successful in completing your work. If it's getting to school earlier or staying late. Try to set a schedule that'll work for you in getting these asynchronous tasks done. And most importantly, with our synchronous learning, kind of learn from others in the class about how they're successful. And I know even last time we had people kind of meet up outside of our time to just kind of talk through the portfolio. So think about that as you kind of work and build working relationships with the other educators in this classroom. So you could always reach out to, of course, us as facilitators, but also reach out to kind of your fellow educators who come with also a wealth of information. So educators, with that, it's about 7:20. So at this point, if you want to take about a 5-minute break, if you want to stand, stretch, take care of any personal needs, we will come back at about 7:24, and then we'll continue on with the last portion of our first class. So we'll welcome you back at about 7:24, but we'll be here if anyone has any specific questions they would like answered. See you back in 5 minutes.
Sabina, it's Shannon. Could you tell me what grade you teach?
What grade don't I teach?
Sounds good to me. That's what we all do.
8th grade robotics, And then actually, I guess I don't have ninth graders right now. And then 10 through 12, chemistry, human physiology. So yeah, that's
Cool.
it.
Yeah,
And
you're
next
right.
year,
You
I'm going to
teach
be
everything.
teaching 7th grade robotics. So a little bit younger age set for me.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you so much. Yes, everything. You were right.
Hey,
And-
Juliet, losing audio, no worries. Everything will be recorded, so don't stress out too much.
Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons I keep turning my camera and my mic off to help preserve my bandwidth over here. Is Justin with us? Did Justin make it to class? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Okay, cool.
In case I missed anyone, I'm just going to go back to the chat and add in the sign-in sheet in case I missed anyone and we started before they got in.
Sorry, a quick question. Are we also writing down our emails or just marking for attendance?
Yeah, you can just do it attendance, Casey.
Okay.
Well, I can populate the emails, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Don't worry about that. No, thank you. That's a great question. Appreciate it. I'm just going back and checking out the chat to see where everyone's from because I couldn't see it when I was sharing. All right, educators, it's now 7:24, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Christy, I will share the screen for you, and you're going to go ahead and take us and make some connections for us about kind of how we got here.
Thanks, John. Okay, so the screen you're going to see, it talks about the joint initiatives. So the way this course kind of came to be was because our union, HSTA, and the DOE, as well as our parent organization, NEA, and the California Teachers Association, they recognized that there was a need for professional coursework. So this is one of the, I guess you could say one of those, one of the first PD classes that were out there. I remember for me, I remember taking this class too, and I've been teaching almost 20 years, and this was one of those first classes I took. So it's been around for a while. For this one, we talk about the content knowledge. This is one thing that we know that educators can always grow and develop themselves professionally. So that was the need for this course. And we also know that this course, it really supports all of the Charlotte Danielson framework. So if any of you are up for your EES, then you know that this definitely aligns to that as well. The nice thing about this course is that you will participate in a lot of professional community developing relationships. You're going to be doing a lot of discussions together and just working collaboratively to learn different things from each other. And that's the best way I think that we can run this course, is for you guys to actually share out and do a lot of that together. Okay, this is going to enhance your content knowledge of classroom management, as well as the pedagogical skills that you'll want to pick up as well. Okay, in this course, it's really important that you reflect on your work, because again, a lot of these PD courses, they're looking for that reflection. But again, it's just to make your practices better in the classroom, and it's just going to assess your effectiveness in the classroom. Maybe there's some things that you know, that's fine, but there's also skills that hopefully you're going to come away and walk away with from this course and just improve on that. Okay, so that's kind of where this course came to be. This slide that we're on, of course, you guys all know that infamous KWL. We're going to be covering strategies throughout this whole course. So what we want to know is what you already know about classroom management, and what you want to learn coming out of this course, so we can see if, there's things. Hopefully we're going to be covering a lot of that for you. Okay, if you go to the next slide, we have a KWL Jamboard. And we're going to use this again, and we're just going to ask that you share some of the things again that you know and want to know. So if you click on that link, it'll take you to the Jamboard. And if you can, there's actually 2 slides over there. So the first one is the what I know about classroom management. And then the second one, if you just click on the next frame in the center of that one, it's what I want to know. So we have a nice I guess a redhead there asking you, what do you know? So if you guys can just take a couple minutes, and what I need you to do is, the 4th one down is that sticky note. Go ahead and take that sticky note on the left-hand side, pull one out, and then go ahead and fill in, if you can fill in on both of those 2 slides, what you know and what you want to know. Thanks. And as you guys are like pulling yours in, I'll just kind of read and share some of these as you guys are thinking about it. Because I think, again, there's a lot of things that I think you're really good at already. People mention what they know is they know that consistency is key, that we need to model ideal behaviors and the non-ideal behaviors as well. So they know the expectations. Establishing classroom routines and expectations, definitely. Good relationships, yes, that is so important. Oh, I see a couple on here talking about classroom engagement. Boy, that's a hard one, isn't it? Especially now that we've been virtual. Definitely keeping them busy and engaged is definitely a tough one this year. Let's see, it's important to set the tone from the first day of class. Definitely, that was one that I know that was a little bit tricky, but that was one of my first, I think my placement teachers taught me. They said, if you just set the tone right from the beginning, it really helps out, and that's going to set the expectations for the kids, and that was so true. Somebody else mentioned, yes, setting expectations early. Again, building relationships, a lot of relationship ones. Procedures, we're going to be covering a lot of that, and the routines. Right. Great thoughts, you guys, definitely. And I think in a couple of slides, Jackie's going to kind of go over a little bit more about the goals of the class. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next slide. Hopefully what you guys want to know about it. Distance learning. The four of us, when we taught this it's been a couple years, but then when we brought this class back in the fall, boy, that was a big learning curve for us too. So being able to make sure we tackle some of those things, definitely. Creating relationships people want to know about, strategies, good. How to keep students engaged, good. New and effective ways to keep them engaged. Some of the strategies on how to get kids to turn on their cameras. Yeah, different online strategies. A lot of online questions coming up here. So hopefully we can share with you as well as you guys will be able to share with each other, definitely. Co-teaching. Oh, okay, that'll be an interesting one. Yes, consistent and persistent. Supporting emotional and mental needs. Thank you. And I'm sorry, my dog is wanting to play with her ball. Let me take shame on her. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, if you look at the next couple slides, we have other different kinds of KWO charts for you if you need to use them or want to use them. We've created some more for like lower L, some for high school. I know some of these things might be a little bit, maybe feel like it's not something you would use for high school, but definitely it's important to know, again, where kids are and what they know. So I think it's a great strategy no matter what. Okay, we're going to jump now to the professional reading and supplementary resources. Now throughout, you're going to see links. And on this one, what we've done is if you click on that link and you go to it, it actually has, we're going to be talking about a lot of did you knows. So did you knows throughout this whole course are just strategies that you can use in the classroom. And what we've done is we've created this worksheet for you. So if you want to just have this sheet open as we're going through these modules, you can add thoughts to these different did you knows. We're going to kind of be going in order of the way they're presented on this sheet. So definitely use it as you need to, but we've listed it all there as well as how to use and how to use them and maybe a good way to use them in your classrooms. Okay, so there's a lot of did you knows there that we're going to be covering throughout all the different modules. Okay. So this first one that we did. Okay, did you know this is the bell work one? And again, a lot of you guys, let's see, can I just have a volunteer to actually just read it for me? This is a participation class, so let's have somebody read this. Can somebody just unmute and read the first one on bell work? Thanks, Sue. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, did you know? DYK number 1. Explain. Bell work is a term for an immediate assignment upon entering a classroom. It is designed to focus students on the subject of the class and avoid distracting behaviors. Bell work should be meaningful for students and can be used to review or preview information. Bell work helps you to set the scene for learning for the day. Please expect that you will have bell work each time they arrive to class.
So we're going to be modeling some of these strategies throughout, and sometimes we'll just be sharing them for you to be able to use. Can I have somebody else read the KW for me? I see Evan. Would you mind, Evan, reading that for me?
Sorry, could you repeat that one more time? My mic went out there for a second.
Oh, that's okay. On the slide, we have the KW strategy. If you wouldn't mind just reading that second paragraph on the screen.
Actually, yeah, of course. KW, know and want to know, is a strategy that helps to motivate interest in the content. Strategy allows the teacher to be aware of what the class already knows and what interests them, which might help in planning instruction.
Thank you very much. Okay, and I'm going to pass it now to Jackie, who's going to talk about the goals.
Okay, excuse me. So like Christy said, she went over kind of where the course came from, and it was based on the needs of teachers. So throughout the class, we're going to be learning effective classroom management and instructional strategies and techniques. You'll find that a lot of the strategies and techniques as well that you learn will come from your peers and not necessarily all from us. We're not the experts in classroom management. We don't have that silver bullet. If we did, then we wouldn't need to be here tonight. But you'll find that you'll have time to network with with your colleagues, and through that networking, pick up other instructional strategies. One of the things we found over the years of teaching the course was that people enjoy being partnered up with people, with other educators that were in their similar grade level or grade range, because it was very meaningful to them in terms of the strategies that they learned that they could immediately apply. So you'll find that sometimes you'll be paired up with people within your same grade levels ranges. Sometimes we'll mix the grade levels as well, because there's always something we can learn from others. We'll also be looking at our classroom rules and routines that support positive learning environments. This was a really good discussion we had with our previous class because of the distance learning and how, of course, your rules look a little bit different because of the virtual part of it. Develop a supportive classroom community of learners. So we'll learn some strategies for accomplishing that. And acquire techniques for effective use of instructional time. So there will be a piece in here about classroom organization, about classroom procedures, etc. Identify communication styles and how they relate to successful student-teacher-parent relationships. It also kind of talks about your learning styles of students and how to best meet their needs. So you'll also be provided some research, and throughout the course, you'll have a lot of reflection time on implications that the strategy or technique has on your classroom management. Okay, John. So this is the modules that you'll see within the class. There's 9 of them. I won't read them to you, but that kind of gives you an idea of what we'll be covering throughout the time that we're together for this course. And the interesting thing is through that survey that Christy had talked about earlier, these particular topics came out really strong as things that teachers really wanted to know, especially new teachers through the system, things they wish they had known or they would like to know more about. So through that, a lot of the topics were developed based on the needs of educators. Okay, so here we've listed the dates. And then I know John mentioned about signing up for 5 of the sessions, preferably just to get the most out of the course. You'll see that most of the courses are, or the classes are held Wednesday nights or Saturdays. We try to space them out the best we could because we know sometimes there's so much going on and it's really hard to make a particular session. But if you're able to, it's highly encouraged to get the most out of the course and the time that you can have with your colleagues and networking. You'll see that some months are a little bit more heavier, like February, we have 4 of those weeks or 4 of those sessions built into that month. March is a little bit heavy too, and then April gets a little bit lighter towards the end of the school year, but also note that the portfolio is due on April 17th. So please, if you haven't yet, sign up for those sessions. And then Shannon, was there, sorry, can you go back one, John? Was there a link to the dates and sign up on this one, Shannon?
No, I don't, John, is that a link? I don't recall if we put a link in there. But I'll post it in the classroom. But I think everybody, a lot of people for the most part followed that email with the links to sign up. So,
Yes.
And we also gave the module title so that you could kind of, as you were signing up, in addition to checking your own calendar with your life schedule, you could also look at what the topic was. And if that was something that really interested you, you're like, okay, I got to make sure I attend that one.
Correct.
So
Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you. And then like Shannon said, if you weren't able to make it, there will be the recording available. So please listen to it if you aren't able to attend.
Yeah.
Okay, John.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
even if you are able to attend, oh, sorry, John. Even if you are able to attend, the recording's there just in case you're like, I missed something. I'm going to go back and watch it over again. It's there for you as a resource for you. So
Absolutely.
whether you attended or not attended, yes. Thanks, Jackie.
Yeah, building on what you folks just said, yeah, it will be important to watch them just because during the sessions, we'll talk about what's actually due for the portfolio. So you'll gain some clarity on what the expectation for that actual portfolio piece is.
Okay, so for next time, and we'll try to do this at every session if there's something that we'd like you to bring back for the next session if you are attending. One of the things we are going to be doing on Saturday is looking at a philosophy of education. Now, we've had some questions on this, so we just kind of wanted to go over a little bit about what that philosophy might look like. So, John, if you could go to the next slide. So really, your philosophy is your core beliefs about teaching and learning. Really how students learn, how their student learning and potential are effectively maximized, your role in the classroom as an educator, your role in the school, community, or society, and what you believe is true about education. Now, we're not telling you how to write it up, what it should look like. We've seen many different ways that the philosophies have come in. We suggested a 1 to 2 page write-up about your beliefs of education. We've had people do it in caption or in heading styles, and under that heading, they listed in paragraph form their philosophy about that particular area. We've seen people who had maybe 1 page write-up. So there's really no right or wrong way to write it up. It's really your beliefs about teaching. And what you'll see for that first session on Saturday is that you'll be looking at one of your colleagues or educators, fellow educators' philosophy and making comments on what they've written up. So don't get stressed over it. This philosophy may evolve throughout the course. You might see that at the end, there's some things that maybe you're thinking a little bit different now. Maybe your beliefs are a little bit different based on what you've learned or what you've picked up throughout the course. So really don't stress out too much. We would like you to have that philosophy ready if you're coming, especially to that first class on Saturday, so that you'll have something to share with your colleague and for them to review as part of the assignment. So if you can go one more, John, sorry. So really what we wanted to just say is your philosophy crafts your teaching. So think about your beliefs, what do you believe as an educator, and put that together in some kind of a write-up form. I know some of you might think, well, we did that in maybe when you went to school or university. That was something you had to do as one of your assignments too. So it's not really in depth, so don't get too stressed again. We don't want you to get pressured out. But really just take some time to really jot down, what do you believe about teaching and learning? So on this last slide, you'll see our contact information. We definitely want to say reach out to us if you have any questions. There's also that Google Classroom where, like Shannon mentioned, where we'll be communicating with you a lot. So feel free, if you have questions, contact us, ask your questions, get clarity. And yes, we're just really excited that you're here with us.
John, before we sign off, could we walk through the Google Classroom, please?
Sure.
Would you mind sharing that?
Not at all. Give me 1 second.
Sorry, totally impromptu.
No, no worries. Let me just.
So I was thinking, like, maybe you guys need like that might be something that benefits you guys to just kind of how we use the Google Classroom and what you guys will be seeing every week. Or every session.
Can you see my screen, Shannon?
Yes, we can.
So
Thank you.
You won't see this completely, but we function in ICDI Spring 2021. And then Shannon, if you just want to give me step by step, and I will click. Sure. I'll be there. Yeah.
So in the stream, so you'll see on the very top thing of on the very top stream, that's our Google Meets. You'll see the first posting there will be our live session. So we always try and keep that live session always at the top so that you have a central location to go, like, where did I put the Meet link? It should always be there at the top. John, can you go to classwork?
Absolutely.
We've also tried last time, and I think we're going to probably do the same thing, to keep all classwork and everything related to the modules under classwork so that the stream doesn't become so heavy. Because there are times when if you just have everything load to the stream, things get lost so easily. So every time we meet, there will be a set of slides, which you can see there, the overview slides. There will be an activity associated with it. And then you will also see the overview, the recording. You may also see professional readings. So if there's readings, I think 2 has, yeah. So if there's readings to accompany our lesson for that module, that's where those will be. So everything's chunked by modules and it's centralized with, that's where your assignment is, that's where our slides are, and then the recordings will be there too. So you don't have to go back and be like, oh, I didn't see the overview. What day was it? Just know it was the first one and you can go look for it there. Sorry, John.
No, not at all. So Shannon, and also, right, and correct me if I'm misspeaking, but in the module, the activities is usually where the assignment correlates to what they will need to do for their portfolio, correct?
That's exactly right. Yes. Your activities are both class activities and your portfolio requirements. So within that activity, you can click on that one, John, if you'd like.
Yep.
So yeah, so right there, that activity, Jackie, I think, has a little pre-session activity, and then that's where also you will upload or link your philosophy of education. And like I said before, you'll see every now and then here's some put your captions. If it's part of your flow to write your captions, great. If it's not part of your flow to write your captions, great. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about captions. We will support you with them.
Sorry, I just want to interject too, Shannon. Just a note that if you're not able to attend a session, the expectation is that you still complete the activity as well as the portfolio entry. So we will go back and review it, but we just want to make sure that the expectation is known that you need to do both the activity as well as the portfolio entry piece, even if you are not in attendance of the live session.
Yes. And you will also see due dates on the assignments. Please don't stress out if you missed a due date. There's definitely flexibility there. The due dates are just to kind of help all of us stay on track, especially your facilitators, to help us with the grading as we go through the course too. Okay.
And then just piggybacking off that, Shannon, Jackie did a really amazing job of, in the portfolio, very specific as to what they're asking you to answer. Be very diligent in going back to the prompt, because those prompts directly align to what PDE3 is asking on their rubric. So make sure you're, when it says answer these 3 questions, make sure you're being very specific to answer them. It really aligns to what the rubric asks. And if anyone has taken a PDE course before, the rubric is really the make or break piece when PDE3 goes back to grading, depending on which. And I think in this case, we'll have 4 portfolios chosen. Those 4 portfolios determine how quickly we all get credits in the end. So because there's 40 of us, they randomly. So, you know, we think about it as a community of learners, we want to make sure those portfolios are the par, because 33 other people are really depending on those 4 to get cleared. And we will, of course, do our best to give you feedback and stuff, but just think about that. This is a collective effort for everyone moving forward.
Correct, Jesse. Yes, there is no, the overview activities is empty. It's just a placeholder for right now. It's more your pre-assignment, your assignment for next module will be your philosophy of education that we posted last week. Yes, you're good. You're good. You're good. No homework the first time.
Yes, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll be online for a little bit more, even if our session is done tonight. But you can also, as Jesse has done, feel free to put your questions in the chat as well.
I do know I received a question about HSTA reimbursement, and that I believe that won't happen till after the course is completed, and then I think it's up to the individual teacher to contact HSTA for that.
Hey, Jackie, there's a question from Sarah about philosophy. If you want to tackle that one.
Oh, sure. So did we turn it? Oh, okay. So what you do is for your philosophy of education, Sarah had put a chat note in the chat box, is if you are coming to that Saturday session, please bring it with you. You'll be sharing the document with someone else. So it might be nice to do it in Google Doc or something so you can easily share it with them, and they're going to be providing comments back to you. Should you not be in attendance of that first session, then the expectation is still that you'll need to partner up with someone to get feedback or comments on your philosophy, and you'll need to do the same with someone else's as well. Shannon, do you remember how we did it that last spring, the last fall course, in terms of pairing people up if they weren't in attendance for that first session?
Well, we had a smaller group, so they were just able to get with to partner up with somebody. Because we have a much larger group, we will help coordinate with that.
Okay. Yes.
Those of you who've already turned in your assignment number 1, I would encourage you to unsubmit it. That way you can still edit it. If you've turned it in, you will not be able to make any changes to it right now. So if you want it, part of the assignment for next week is to have your peer review it and make comments on it. So I think a few people have submitted it, so just be sure to pull that back when we get to class on Saturday.
So just for clarity too, is anyone opposed to us sharing your email addresses among each other?
So if you are, just maybe email us directly and let us know that,
Yeah.
or that you didn't do that right now, and that we will totally respect that.
Right. And the purpose of that really is to just so that in case you are not in attendance and you need to network with someone, that you'll have access to be able to reach them.
Right, so educators, it's 7:52. We don't want to hold you. If anyone wants to stay on and ask some direct questions that's directly about something you have, please feel free. We'll stay on. But other than that, thank you so much for kind of joining us today and kind of listening to our spiel for a little bit. We know this is a lot of us talking. Knowing other times you'll be definitely doing more of the discussion. We just wanted to set the groundwork. But with that, please go enjoy the rest of your evening. And however much time that is, I'll be in bed in an hour. But we'll be on for a little bit if anyone has some direct questions. Other than that, we hope to see you hopefully on the 23rd at 9 a.m. We'll be ready to go.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Have a
you.
great rest of your evening.
Hi, John. This is Tiffany. I have a question.
Sure.
I have an appointment on Saturday. If I'm a little late, is it okay for me to come on a little late, or do you want people just that can be there from the get-go?
If you can hop on a little late, I have no problem. This is, we hope that we're pretty flexible in modeling kind of what we expect for students too. Like sometimes 9's not going to work, 9:05 is fine. Just know that like hey, this is what we're doing, and just be willing to jump in. But we're not that type. We're building a community, so that's not what we're not about that life.
All right, cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate the question.
John,
I have one question.
Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead,
CJ.
whoever.
Definitely I won't be able to attend this Saturday because I have this meeting with the HSDF fellows.
Okay.
And I would like to partner with somebody. I don't know who that somebody is, and I would like to also work with giving feedback to somebody else's philosophy of education. How am I gonna proceed with that?
So CJ, what we'll do is after, during the Saturday session, we'll have an idea of who was there and who was not. And then based on other individuals who are not able to attend, that's how we'll pair you folks up. So you'll be paired up with someone else who wasn't able to make that session, but you'll be able to watch the recording and get the directions for what the feedback and stuff session should look like.
So that being said, I should not post my philosophy of education yet in the Google Classroom, so that
Correct.
that person can actually, or I can make some revisions based on their feedback.
What-
After
Correct.
the feedback,
Yeah.
then I can upload it in the Google Classroom. Is that correct? Okay, good.
CJ, what you'll end up doing is once you've been assigned somebody, you two will exchange files with each other and give each other, editing rights or commenting rights. And then you can do it all virtually. You don't even need a live meet from it. Let's say I give you my philosophy of education, you give me your philosophy of education, I'll read through it, and then I'll make some comments on it based upon Jackie's guidance of what our prompts are. And then it will be done virtually since you won't be able to attend the session. So please don't stress about having to make up a session or how you're going to fit in this activity for this module, okay?
I don't know. It's just on my system. I really would like to attend all the sessions, but of course, this
Awesome.
coming Saturday, it's not really possible. But thank you,
CJ,
guys.
are you a fellow this year?
Yeah.
Welcome to the team.
Oh.
Yay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We just that's gonna be our first convening day actually. This Friday and Saturday.
Awesome.
So I'm learning. I mean, there's a lot of writing. There's a lot of meetings, and I'm really super excited. And
Yes.
Good deal.
I just wanted to comment, and I probably should have made this clear earlier, but you actually want to hold on to your philosophy till towards the end of the class, the whole course, CJ. So you won't need to turn it in actually till almost the very end, only because you'll see that at the end you may be making revisions, and so you'll just submit everything together at that time.
oh,
So yes, we'll probably do something so that we won't be able to submit or accept at this point because we want people to hold it actually until the end of the course. So yeah. But thank you for checking with us. We'll
Yeah,
make sure
I'm
to
really-
be a partner.
I'm really excited to show my philosophy of education because I'm an agricultural engineer by profession, so I know a lot of agriculture. So just to give you a little bit, it's going to be tied up with actually seeds, growing, nourishment. My terminologies will be about agriculture. So that's what I would like to see myself and probably share with other educators. I mean, the word grow means a lot to me because Shannon, I know I'm not sure if we really had a very good connection yet, but I think I was still new when you left the school.
You were, yes. So CJ, when I left the math department, you
Yes.
you made my shoes very small because you've been doing an amazing job there.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of project-based learning in
That's
math.
awesome,
And
CJ.
it is something very hard to implement the PBL in math, but I don't know, but I don't want to take much a lot.
It takes a lot of work, but yes, I've been hearing
I mean,
wonderful things
definitely,
and doing great things over there.
definitely. And I would like to maintain that as an advocate of PBL at Lahaina Luna. I know it is hard. I know there's a lot of veteran teachers. They said that, why should I change? It works before, why not now? But this is not what we call the 21st century learning. And we need to embrace all those 4 skills that we would like to see it happen in our students.
This is a great spot to share your outside of the box strategies because they really the way the course comes together, it's pretty neat, and just hearing all the collaboration. So yeah.
Thank you, CJ.
Thanks,
You're
CJ.
welcome. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Casey, do you have a question as
Yeah,
well?
I have a question. I was wondering, I don't know if I just couldn't find it in Google Classroom, but do you guys have like a list of when all the due dates for the entire class is going to be, or is it kind of just like a week by week basis?
April 17th is when everything is due.
Oh yeah. Well, like there's like no deadlines, but like you know how you have like smaller deadlines.
Yeah.
It's, like,
Right.
those dates?
We gave it 10 days after the module.
Oh,
was kind of
okay.
our rule of thumb.
But that
Okay.
probably didn't post yet. So at like, for instance, after like, I'm only speaking like module 3, when I do module 3 and I give the assignment, 10 days after that is when we say, you can start turning it in from now on. Yeah.
Okay,
As like,
perfect.
as a soft date.
And
Okay,
remember,
thank you so
the
much.
due date is just, it's really loose. It's just kind of to help you with your time management and us with our time. Me, I'll be honest, me with the time management.
All of it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thanks,
Have a
Casey.
good night,
Thank
you
you.
Bye,
guys.
Casey.
Bye.
Thanks.
Hi, I have a question regarding the portfolio. So you don't have a format that we follow. You know, the regular PDs, they have a format and we do everything in the portfolio. So we start to fill up everything to complete.
Yes, not the case for this course.
So
We will walk you through what you need to do for the portfolio document itself. And then all of your assignments are going to be done individually. And then those will be moved over to the portfolio document.
so I'm gonna be at the end. I have to do it or no?
No, you do not have to do the assembling. We'll do the assembling for you.
Oh, okay.
So if
Does
you,
that work? Did you want to assemble it?
No.
Emily, if you look through your activity sheet, there'll be a part that says assignments or activities, and then below it, it'll say portfolio. So those would be the requirements we have, what we expect to be in the portfolio piece. And then at the end, like Shannon said, we'll take all those pieces and put it together. PDE 3 wants, but if you follow those prompts in the portfolio section on the assignment sheets, then that is really what you need to do for the completion of the
Okay. Thank you so much and nice to meet you.
Nice
Yeah,
meeting
nice
you, Tuvia.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Joan.
Hi, Joan.
Oh, Joan, you're muted.
Hi, sorry. Can I already tell you who I want to be partnered with?
Joan, what would your response be to your students who told you that?
Okay, that was a question.
Joan, I never do my seating chart for the first week of school because I always tell my kids like, oh, just sit wherever. So then I know.
Yeah, no, I do that. That's what I do too. I do that. I do that with your friends. You know,
Okay, so Joan, who should we not put you with? What school are you at, Joan?
Huh?
What school are you at?
Red Hill.
Oh, Red Hill. And you teach first grade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So we're not creating a set partner throughout the
Okay.
whole course.
oh no,
That's
I
why
didn't mean that partner. Just for Saturday's philosophy one.
Oh, okay.
Because
You want
said
someone from Red Hill?
partner, right? So
You
is it
can put your request in. We can't promise anything, but you can put your
Oh, okay.
request in.
I know, so that was my question. If we could choose, or you folks were going to choose. I guess that was my question.
Jackie, do you know which way you're organizing it? Joan, it's all going to come down to how many participants we have attending.
Okay, no, that's
How to
understood.
value time, and is there somebody you're thinking, or I'll make a note of it, or a
Yeah.
school?
Yeah. Okay. No, that whatever it is fine. I just asked.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but who
Did
is
you have
it?
a
Because if we can
preference,
make the
Joan?
accommodation, we will
Yeah.
try to make the accommodation.
Okay. Well, I guess because I have a friend that I'm taking it with, and so we were thinking if we could partner up, or you
Sure.
rather
Who's the friend?
Cindy Carr.
Cindy
Well,
Carr. Okay, I'll make a note, and we'll see what we can do based upon how Jackie's organizing.
All right.
Joan, do you know if she's coming on Saturday? Is she's planning to attend?
Yeah, she was here tonight, and she's coming on Saturday.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll look over our participants and we'll see what we can do.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Joan.
thanks, Joan, for joining us.
Bye.
Good
Good night, Joan.
Good night.
Good job, team. Gonna stop recording.
I'm going to stop recording.